The Lewis Hamilton-Mercedes partnership in Formula One has produced tremendous success for both parties in the past few years. 8 constructors' championships, 6 drivers' championships, absolute total dominance. However, all good things gotta come to an end, right? And it seems that this is the case for Hamilton and Mercedes, as the 7-time world champion might leave the team at the end of the season. Why? And if that is to happen, who's gonna replace him? Well, rumors have it that it'll be Ferrari's star driver Charles Leclerc. How true are these rumors, and what does Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff and Leclerc himself have to say regarding them? Stay tuned and you'll find out. I know, coincidence. Crazy. Hamilton's contract with the Silver Arrows is set to expire at the end of the season, and the much-anticipated contract extension hasn't been inked yet, which leaves Hamilton's future in the sport uncertain. Due to Mercedes' problems, the British driver has been linked to a move to a rival team. Speculations have risen because following his dominance in the turbo hybrid era from 2014 to 2021, when he won 6 of the 7 world titles that he has, Hamilton has not been able to get one win, let alone fight for the championship. Now Wolff has acknowledged that Lewis may leave if the team is unable to provide him with a car capable of competing for a record-breaking 8th title. Hamilton spoke about his contract status with Mercedes following a poor 6th-place performance at Azerbaijan Grand Prix, Despite these continuous rumors, Hamilton has reiterated his intention to remain with the organization. Here's what he said: "I'm thinking long-term. I don't want to spend another year here. I want to remain a little longer." While Hamilton is thinking a long-term, some people in the sport are also thinking long-term for Leclerc. As mentioned earlier, Leclerc is being regarded as a favorite Hamilton replacement should Hamilton shift camps or retire from the sport. But why would they consider Leclerc, whereas he's already under contract with Ferrari? Charles is undeniably one of the best drivers on the grid. The Ferrari driver has put up brilliant performances that have shown how much talent and potential he has in the sport. Last season's start was filled with hope for Leclerc, and he's got good races that will make him see as if his dream of becoming a world champion is able to come true. But thanks to Ferrari's poor strategic decisions, it's sadly remained just a dream, a blip in the dark. This season's start has been no better for Leclerc, as he's been experiencing a difficult start, which he's not happy with. I mean, what could be worse than only scoring 6 points in your first 3 races of the season? The Monegasque is frustrated with this poor start, and he also said that he was going to be dissatisfied with the team. Ferrari team principal Frédéric Vasseur, however, has stressed that it's natural for the driver of Leclerc's caliber to feel this way when they're not at the front of the grid. Leclerc's contract with Ferrari runs until the end of 2024, and the big question is he going to sign another contract with Ferrari, or is he going to jump ship to another team on the grid like Mercedes? With so much arising curiosity, Toto Wolff has broken his silence on the rumors, saying that his only direct conversation with Leclerc was at Melbourne Airport. "I think nobody doubts Charles' ability. He's a good guy. The only time I talked with him was when we discussed where the gate was in Melbourne when we boarded the plane. No contact otherwise. I think he's 100% committed and loyal to Ferrari, and it's his contract. And in the same way, we're 100% committed to putting pen to paper with Lewis. Charles is a super guy, and for the long-term future, someone you need to always have on your radar," Wolff said. Well, it seems that the rumors are just rumors. From Wolff's words, it's clear that Mercedes is pretty keen on Hamilton's contract still, so all we gotta do is be patient and see if anything's gonna happen. However, we can't help but notice that Wolff has not totally shunned the possibility of Leclerc joining Mercedes, so maybe it's just a matter of time before we see it happen. What do you think? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section down below. Leclerc himself responded to the rumors in Baku. "No, there haven't been any conversations, not yet. Not for the moment. You all smile because you don't believe me, but I promise for now I'm fully focused on the project I'm in today, which is Ferrari, and I fully trust and am confident for the future that we'll see. It's always been a dream for me to be in this team, and my main priority is to win a world championship with this team, so it's not something in my mind," Leclerc told the reporters. Leclerc might have expressed his wish to stay with Ferrari, but it's worth noting that he didn't rule out the possibility of joining Mercedes in the future. Baku was a good weekend for Leclerc, who took pole in both the sprint race and the Grand Prix race. He finished second behind Red Bull's Sergio Perez in the sprint race and third in the Sunday race behind Perez and Max Verstappen, respectively. He might have failed to convert his pole positions into wins, but we all know that against those two Red Bulls' pace, Leclerc did his best. We expected Leclerc to maintain that pace in the Miami Grand Prix last weekend, but that wasn't the case. It started with a dramatic conclusion to the Saturday qualifying when Charles lost control of his car and crashed into the barriers, ending the session early. This led him to start the race at P7, a position that he retained in the race. Leclerc expressed his dissatisfaction with the race, saying, "We've all been struggling this all day. Very similar picture to the beginning of the day. Competitive in qualifying, struggling on race day. I had a lot of bottoming today too. Consistency is what we're lacking at the moment, and we'll try and work for that. We got work to do. We need to come up with the solutions. Mercedes are quick. Aston Martin are really quick. Alpines look quick in the race." Although that really doesn't imply that he wants to leave Ferrari, you know? Unlike Leclerc, Hamilton was happy with the Miami Grand Prix. "I don't know about the strategy. I don't know if it was optimal. Difficult at the start in a DRS train. Once I did stop on the hard, I was really able to push. To get from 16th to 6th, I'm pretty happy with that. I enjoyed the race. Need to have a battle with people," Hamilton said. Wolff might have refused to rule out a Leclerc move to Mercedes in the future, but his fellow team principal Vasseur has poured cold water on the possibility of his driver joining the rivals. The Frenchman has offered a similar view to Leclerc's by declaring that Leclerc will not be going nowhere for the foreseeable future. "The rumors about Charles and Mercedes are bullshit," said Vasseur. "Charles said he loves Ferrari and he wants to win with Ferrari. We're at the beginning of the season, where this is much gossip we will hear about every weekend, but we're not worried," he added. Given Red Bull's dominance in 2023 so far, it's safe to conclude that none of the Milton Keynes outfit's competitors have gotten off to a decent start. So far this season, Red Bull has won all 5 races, with Aston Martin, Mercedes, and Ferrari frequently competing for the final podium slot. Red Bull has been getting 1-2 finishes in the races. The only race where that didn't happen was in Melbourne, where Perez finished 5th. Verstappen's currently leading the championship, followed by Perez. Following Red Bull's dominance in Miami, Red Bull team principal Christian Horner couldn't help but question their rivals. When talking to Sky Sports, Horner said, 5 races, 5 wins plus the sprint, and 4 1-2 finishes. We've never had a start like this, and we're kind of wondering, where are the others? We made a normal step, we think, over the winter, and it's more, where did Ferrari and Mercedes go? Red Bull might be wondering where their longtime rivals Ferrari and Mercedes went, but in their absence, there's been Aston Martin's Fernando Alonso, who currently sits 3rd in the driver standings. The Spaniard has scored 15 points in every race weekend this season. Following the slow start to the season, both Hamilton and Leclerc will be hoping that their respective teams can find ways to increase their pace in order to compete with the Red Bulls. It'll be frustrating for the two drivers if that doesn't happen, and that might influence their choices for the future. Leclerc is among the top drivers, so he's going to want a front-running machine, and he won't drop down to the midfield to build the project up. So will Hamilton leave Mercedes at the end of the season? And if he does, who do you think is going to replace him? Will it be Leclerc, or will it be another driver? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Well, guys, that's the end of our video for today. Make sure to do a quick pit stop at the subscribe button for more amazing F1 content. Until next time, cheers!